All right, Bruce Campbell, the great Bruce Campbell, Comic-Con royalty, Evil Dead legend. Bruce Campbell is taking Bruce-O-Rama on the road. You and other fans can play the Last Fan Standing game with Bruce Campbell and producer Steve Sellery. Watch a groovy Bruce movie and lots more fun. Coming to the world-famous Cleveland Agora on Thursday night, April the 20th. Go to agoracleveland.com for the details. I'll get you a couple of tickets here. If you are a pop culture, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, trivia nerd, this is going to be your hour here. Pair of tickets for Bruce-O-Rama. Good luck. Call 10 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
It's not every day you hear him complain about something. Wait, yes it is.
Alan Cox.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Another $1,000 for you here in about 10 minutes. 3:30 is the next keyword for you to go fund yourself. So listen for all those, about 30 past every hour. Cavs over the Suns in Phoenix. They beat them here in Cleveland. Beat them again on their home court. 112-98 was the final yesterday. They head up to Salt Lake City to play Donovan Mitchell's former team, the Jazz, tomorrow night. They are not back here at home until next Monday. So a handful of road dates. Cavs, Jazz, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock here on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app. Keep in mind, you can use the promo code ANEW, A-N-E-W, for 20% off right around the corner here at CLE Clothing Company or whatever location is closest to you, or just go online, clevelandclothing.com. And 20% off, no matter how frequently you use ANEW throughout the month of January, 20% right off the top of that. Mentioned that guy that got killed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Do you remember a guy named Adam Rich? He was a kid back in the day. He was a child actor. Adam Rich died. He was the youngest kid. You guys are too young for 8 is Enough?
Yeah.
Is that the case? There's a show called 8 is Enough that I loved when I was a kid. And it was the guy who wrote it. It was basically kind of a dramatized version of his family. He had 8 kids. And Adam Rich was the Bradford family on 8 is Enough. And he died yesterday. He was 54 years old. They only confirmed that he died. Over the course of his life, he kind of went the traditional child actor route, where he was in and out of rehab. I mean, any photo you ever saw of him as an adult never looked great. So I think maybe the implication is that maybe that's what happened. But he was the youngest guy on 8 is Enough.
Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with that one. I was more of a just the 10 of us.
Right.
There was
that's
always
more
another version.
That's
of
more
like
my
every
wife.
show,
My wife's
yeah.
a 90s kid, so like she loves that show too.
Oh, that's real?
Yeah.
I thought you were making a joke.
No, that
It's a
show,
real
just
show.
the 10 of us.
Yeah, just the 10 of us with Bill Kirchenbauer.
There you go.
And I think a few years ago we watched his corporate video, like Bill Kirchenbauer, TV and comedy star, like his that he would set out for corporate gigs. It ended up on YouTube, and it's a hoot.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if you're around my age, if you're 50 or so, you remember 8 is Enough. And Adam Rich was the adorable little kid. It was Dick Van Patten was the dad. Betty Buckley, who I think is still alive, was the Willie Ames, who of course would go on to be in Charles in Charge and then give his life over to the Lord. Willie Ames did a comic book called Bible Man. Ever remember Bible Man?
Must have missed that one.
Yeah, he was doing all those, he and Scott Baio were doing all those sex comedies back in the day, and then I think he found the Lord. But yeah, Adam Rich, who was the baby on that show on 8 is Enough, passed away.
Well, that's a
At
bummer.
54. Of course, we mentioned this before the break, but it bears repeating. 8 is Enough, a show set in Sacramento, California.
Hey.
Sacramento, I'll be
Where
there this weekend.
Our
with
own Bill Squire is flying into
a wet city.
You thought
It'll gonna be wet.
You thought Sacramento was wet before. You just wait till Bill Squire flies in.
Bill Squire and Chad Daniels coming through. It's going to be all sorts of wet.
Yep.
But if there's any two guys that can dry it out.
It's you and Chad.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a handful of bureau chiefs out Sacramento.
Yeah, I had some people hit me up that
yeah.
said they're coming out to some shows. They got tickets already, so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited about
Yep.
it.
Half of Sacramento's 530,000 residents right now have no power. So hopefully that will be fixed by the time you... When are you there? Saturday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, well...
So I'll be out on this Friday.
Yeah, we're all out Friday. And then MLK Day is a week from today.
And then Sunday,
We're getting
hilarities.
We're getting preempted by a Cavs game on MLK Day. And you're headlining Hilarities on Sunday.
There's so many things to do.
They have power.
Yes.
Yes.
They have
It
lots
will
of
still be
power.
just as wet.
Yeah, right, man. You know it.
We did the
Go ahead.
50 first jokes there last night, which was very, very fun. John Bruton, got to give him a big shout out because he organized this whole thing. It's, if you're not aware of it, basically they get 50 or so comedians to tell their first joke.
50 comedians.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You flying people in?
No.
Right?
No, it's like locals. Is that Bernie Kosar walking by?
He's very tall.
I think that was Bernie Kosar.
Well, he's got a lot of time on his
Yeah.
hands now.
Well, he
so.
could hear us, right?
Yes.
So they said Bernie. He didn't turn around.
Bernie Kosar.
He's deep in his phone, whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Do you,
But 50 first jokes.
Oh. Good tell Bernie.
All the
I'm
different-
quite serious. How did you come up with 50 comics?
I didn't. John Bruton did. But there's that many people that have done comedy in Cleveland.
Have done comedy.
There's some.
He had to go
They're
deep
pulling from a
into the-
deep bench.
I was gonna
Like,
say, he's going
There's
deep
guys
into
I
his-
haven't seen. A lot of people I didn't even know, and then there's guys that I haven't seen do comedy in a while, or they only
Okay.
come out for like special events. Some older
Yeah.
guys, or those.
So they dug Eric Cribley up, is what you're saying.
Oh, no, they go that deep.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's been anywhere near a mic in a while, which is a bummer because he was so funny. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and if you haven't been to that event, it's definitely one to check out. And just the fact that John organized it all and gets that many people to come out, like that's an extremely difficult task to just round up that many comics.
Yeah.
And then make it flow really well too, because it was a very well run event, and that's
So they each
that's
come
tough.
out.
They tell one joke,
Right.
and then you get the hell out of there.
So your megawatt comics are like a Bill Squire,
Yeah.
Mike Polk.
Well, Mike didn't make it out there,
Okay.
so I did a 7 or 8 minute set after everybody else went up. I
So like
closed
the
it out.
veteran
Yeah.
comics, or did he do it that way this year, where the veteran comics did longer sets?
No.
I missed it. I didn't land until 8:30 last
Pretty
night,
much, they
so.
just had everybody doing one joke,
Wow.
and some like
So he goes, here's Frank Smith. And he goes
Yeah.
up, tells a joke, and
Tells a
everybody
joke,
goes,
and everybody laughs.
"Ooh."
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the next guy, here's
and some
Frank Smith
some
Jr.
hit really hard, and some and because the audience is aware of like this is the first joke that you've written this year, they're pretty ready to go. So like they're a very kind audience, and it was very, very fun. And there were some real good jokes last night. I got Mickey Genosi, who started things off, told a great joke, and then Dave Flint, who's a really funny local comic. He did this character called Birdman, and he went up there with a bird mask on, talking about how birds are being overlooked, and it was so ridiculous and surreal that it was incredibly funny. So a lot of good jokes at that. But this week, Mary's there,
Sunday.
and it's all new jokes.
Not all of it.
It's every single joke she's gonna tell is brand new.
She's writing them this week.
About 20 minutes is new.
20 minutes
But
is
a half
new.
hour is the same.
There you go.
That's still a good amount of turnover.
What time is that show?
7 p.m.
7 o'clock on Sunday. All right.
Cannot wait.
And my Chargers play on Saturday, so I mean I won't be able to be there anyway. But if I were in town, I'd be able to go because
Obviously.
Chargers play on Saturday.
Wait, you're going to be in California?
Yeah,
You can't get to the Chargers game?
He's saying
from
if he were
Sacramento
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
well, they're
You're, if
playing
you're
in
a fan,
Jacksonville.
homie.
So,
Oh, I thought they were in California.
No.
Oh, I see.
but I couldn't. The game starts at 5:15 Pacific time, and then my show's at 7. So yeah, I could not make that work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now I understand that. I just didn't know what the logistics of that were. Boy, I wonder if that was Bernie. That just
I'm pretty
walked
sure
by
it
there.
was. That's a wild story.
I've never seen him in person.
He was really tall. How tall is Bernie Kosar?
He's tall. I met him a
That
few
dude was
times.
like 6'7".
Yeah.
That dude was giant.
That was a tall dude.
Bernie Kosar is gigantic.
Does he live downtown? Why would he just be walking
He's
around?
working on I think he's got a studio down here that he does like a podcast and YouTube broadcast on. He's doing it with Gab Cruz.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is a wild story. I heard Stansbury talking about it. The Browns cut ties with Bernie Kosar because he bet $19,000 on the Browns
Last week, when it was the first day it was legal.
First day was legal, right?
Mhm,
But
on New
still
Year's Day.
against league policy, which first of all, who knew Bernie had an extra $19,000 lying around?
He's got a slot
Second of
machine
all-
named after. He's got his own slot machine.
Yeah.
The Bernie Kosar. That is like my idea of making it. When they make a slot machine out of you, that's huge, dude. Billy Nelson has one.
Bernie's
He has one.
I'm
Britney
going to
Spears
that,
has
Bernie's
one.
financial situation has been up and down over the years. We'll put it that way.
I
He was featured in a 30 for 30 about players that lost all their money.
yeah. I just ate at his restaurant.
It's
Good.
great.
Bernie Kosar was fired grill.
Hey!
How did the
Bernie, come back! Come punch Alan in the face for
there's
that
more where
joke.
that came from. Come on, pal. We never met. He bet, and he mentioned it publicly, which brain fart, I guess, on his, but anybody.
Well, it was like a promote. Like he mentioned it. I think it was. He's like, I bet $19,000 on the Browns, and I think it was like a promotion too.
It was,
yeah.
but the point is that anybody who works with a team or for a team can't bet.
Right.
Like if you work in the scoreboard room, you can't bet on any games.
Now, how much did he make off of that bet? Because if he made enough money, he's probably doing okay. Because a $19,000 bet.
He bet on the Browns.
On the Browns.
He lost $19,000.
No, he bet on them last week when they won.
Oh, I thought that was this week.
It was last week when they won.
I don't know.
Against the Commanders.
Yeah, so they let him go, and and the Browns faithful are all up in arms. I'm like, this seems like a pretty cut and dry case of. It doesn't rise to the level of a Pete Rose, but like I just couldn't believe that he would. I don't know. At no point in the setting up this promotion that he was doing was anybody around him going, "Hey man, this is not a good idea," or "Hey man, you're on the Browns payroll in whatever capacity, But there were a lot of people I saw on social media who were very upset.
It was on yesterday's game.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, I thought
he
bet
lost
it-
$19,000.
Ooh, that's a double whammy. You lose your job and $19,000.
Yeah. Yeah. He's some guy that ain't played football in 50 years. I mean, you got to protect your paper. I saw somebody tweet, "Take this effing franchise to Zimbabwe for all I care. I'd rather just start over. New name, new colors, erase this rotting aneurysm from my brain." Browns' 17th double-digit loss season since 1999. Joe Woods is the fall guy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hell of a lot more problems than just their defense. But my Chicago Bears get the #1 pick, thanks to Lovie Smith, who also lost his job. He was very certain that he would keep his job after the Texans rallied, which means they got the 2nd pick. But Lovie Smith, former Browns coach, helped us out again. So good for him. We get the #1 pick overall. Texans get the 2nd. And Bernie Kosar loses his gig.
And that's a bummer. But also, I figured, because he was going to donate the winnings to charity. So it seemed like it was just a publicity stunt and wasn't like a legit bet in his name. That seems weird.
But
It
if you're
seems
going to donate...
it seems like they could have figured out something to just suspend him or suspend him for the rest of the season.
If you're going to donate your winnings to a charity, what does that do for when you lose? You just go, sorry.
You didn't get anything.
They don't get, no, not him, the charity.
Yeah, they don't.
Charities are like, yeah, cool, thanks. I mean, that's always good PR. People go, oh, I'm going to donate my money to the winnings to charity.
And the charity's like, hey, could you bet on the Steelers then?
Right, because you can write it off.
Yeah.
I mean, but is that what you were saying, Dave?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't know you guys had already knew that, but he said he was donating it all to charity.
I just can't believe, thank you, Dave. I can't believe nobody around him put the brakes on that. Like, bro, I know everybody's like in a froth now because you can gamble in Ohio. I mean, it's cool. It's great. Of course, I use FanDuel. But.
Mary, what do you use?
Okay.
She called 1-800-GAMBLER, and they told her what to use.
They gave me resources.
There you go. Let me give you money
both
here.
sides of the coin right there.
Yeah. Let me give you $1,000 to do with whatever you see fit. Just try to make sure that you're gainfully employed at the end of it. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BONUS at WMMS.com. That's BONUS. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
You can, if you listen on iHeartRadio on the app, you can leave us messages there whenever you like to.
To the podcast, and the commercials are so flippin' loud. I'm just trying to sleep with you on, as droning and droning. It makes me sleepy. But the commercials are loud, and it sucks.
Oh, boy. I love when people tell me that they're listening to the show to sleep.
Hey.
I don't know what she means by me droning on and on, though. I don't drone. I don't know what she means. She's just trying to sleep. That's by design, by the way. That's by design. I make sure for you smart Alex who tell me that you're listening to the show to fall asleep, I know what you're doing. That's why I make sure the commercials are super, super loud. Wake your ass back up. Pay attention. What do you think? I'm doing this for my health? I'm doing this for you. I could be off doing something else. I'm not. I do hear that from people. They go, I just put the podcast on. I just lie there and listen and I fall asleep. So I'm happy to announce the Alan Cox Show ASMR podcast. Poundcake and I will be chewing a variety of snacks into microphones and posting that
The Alan Cox
at
Show,
AlanCoxShow.com.
The Alan Cox Show ASMR podcast. It's the right amount of wet.
No. It's all dry snacks.
It's not crunching. It's not.
It's all nope.
It's not.
No slurping. That's gross. No slurping.
And they
Nope.
say the most perfect job don't exist.
That's right. No, there's no slurping at all.
All right. Hold on. I had to finish my gummy worm.
Ugh, disgusting.
I don't think gummy worms are
Gross.
dry, though.
They're not. That's why we're not doing that.
Oh.
It's
Give
all
that.
slurping.
Give
I was
that.
gonna say, once you bite into it, it's
Nope.
all juicy.
You and I are going to be eating Cheez-Its and popcorn and
Toast, croutons,
croutons,
pretzels.
I love
Yep.
the crouton.
biscotte. The drier, the crunchier, the better.
That's my motto.
You wake you dummies up lying there trying to fall asleep. Now, again, is my voice the audio equivalent of sweet, sweet molasses? Of course it is. Is it easy to be lulled into slumber by listening to nothing but my dulcet tones? Of course. But we work hard here. She kind of had a cute voice, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
She kind of sounded like Gwen.
I'm always thrown off. Maybe that's what it was. I'm always thrown off by the people that leave these messages because I'm so taken by their voice. Is that what it sounds like to listen to us?
Yeah.
To be so taken? That, so...
To the podcast, and the commercials are so flippin' loud. I'm just trying to sleep.
She's kind of being whispery. Gwen's voice is a little higher than that. She got a bit more of a bell tone to her
Well,
voice,
she was
but-
asleep.
That lady was asleep?
She was. I'm assuming she called us to complain. Like, I'm just trying to sleep, and these commercials.
Trying
are
to
too loud.
sleep, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. But anyway, keep your eyes and ears peeled for the Alan Cox ASMR podcast. I'm calling it the AC ASMRP
With PC.
with PC.
OMG.
OMG. ASAP.
I got a PEEBRB.
Right. So we'll figure all that out. I don't know who sent me the list of the Ohio Vanity plates that they rejected, but thank you for that list.
It's always a good list. It's always fun.
Yeah, they seem to be kind of loosening up a bit, though, because you can be driving around and see things that you didn't think would. But I always appreciate the people who work extra hard to come up with something stupid. I do appreciate that. You can't have UGH-FML. You can't have HUG-FML.
Oh. Okay, I got it.
You can't have HATEPPL, hate people, driving around, hate people. Antifa.
That could be hat people.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hat people.
Hat-y people?
Hatta people. Murder with a 3 instead of an E. I like when people try that little trick. They're like, nobody's going to know, man. I'm going to spell ass A55. Nobody's going to get it. Smuggler, drug dealer. Those do not make the cut either. Those are the ones that you should let through because you're going to get pulled over all the time.
I mean,
does your vanity plate, does that count as probable cause to get pulled over? I know cops are just out there pulling people over because they're bored half the time. But, I mean, is that probable cause to pull somebody over? Probably not.
Probably not, but you can find another reason, I'm sure.
Yep.
Still got to give stripper Scott his props for coming up with a very clever way of getting around those because his was AG Lover, but he got the Cleveland Vikings license plate cover, so it says Vag Lover.
V for Vikings. And he does love Vag. Now, to the untrained eye, you would just think that he was a big fan of silver, right? So it really serves a dual purpose. If you're not paying attention to the CSU Vikes license plate frame, you go, this guy really likes silver. This guy is way into the periodic table. With that V there, you go, I get it. I see what he did. And that's truth in advertising. Because that guy loves vagina. I mean, I do too. But I would never have a vanity license plate to that effect. Say what?
If I ever were to get like a vanity license plate, I would get like, if you know, you know. So the IYFN.
IYK.
Oh, yeah.
He does it.
His is going to get rejected just because they're like, this is just
They don't
gibberish.
even
So go ahead.
understand it.
Look, I got it if you know, YKLG. They'll never figure it out. No, they won't.
It's if you know, like, no. You know.
Somebody had Sugar MILF rejected. I love SUGRMLF. I assume that's Sugar MILF. USA FAFO. Sure that car's covered with stickers.
Vanity plates just tacky at this point.
I don't know if they're tacky. They're silly. I mean, it seems...
They're supposed to be silly.
Well,
It's
not
vanity.
when you're like, F Joe Biden. I mean, that's not silly. It's whatever. But, I mean, you're paying... To me, it seems like... Because you're paying a premium for the plates. I'm just surprised that the state doesn't just take the money and run and maybe ease off the throttle a little bit. Like,
where do they do that, in Vermont?
But who
Or-
really cares? Who cares? No one cares if you're driving around and your license plate says sore ass,
Right.
but it's 5s instead of S's. Truly, no one cares. So, you know, I don't know. FUBLM. Gee, I wonder what that means.
Oh, God.
Hey, Fublum, I got it. Yeah, I remember that
like a guy that I want to marry.
cartoon from the 90s. Poundcake's riding shotgun in the FUBLM car.
Beep, beep, roll the
Yeah.
sunroof down.
Hey, look what I got. That's right. I'm out here tasting the hate. I got to take a break. You want to text 35192. You can watch if you like at alancoxshow.com and listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7
WMMS.